Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Fanatics. I'm Brayden.
And I'm Brannock.
And today we will be reviewing the 1981 classic Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. But before we begin, this review will contain spoilers, so if you've never seen this movie or you just don't care, spoiler alert. So let's get started. So Brannock, tell me about when you first saw Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, I first saw it about a year ago, and watching it the first time completely blew me away. It was extremely entertaining. It was just wild, crazy action pretty much the whole time. It was really good. For lack of a better explanation, it was really good.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've seen this movie I think a million times. I grew up watching this movie, and I can't remember the first time I really watched it, but I loved it. I watched it all the time. I was so into the character of Indiana Jones. I thought it was a really fun movie with non-stop action, and just a really fun movie. It's one of the...
Yeah.
It's really great. So, let's talk about some of our favorite scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Brannock, you go first.
Well, my personal favorite scenes are the opening with them, Indiana and the other guy stealing the idol from the temple place. It's really exciting and a lot of suspense leading up to them or him grabbing it, and a lot of excitement as the escape is very action-packed. The enormous boulder and the guy betrays him. It's a very good scene. I also particularly like the scene where the Ark is opened. I think that was really cool. The special effects were good. Yeah. I think my favorite fight scene is the plane fight scene with the big guy. That was
the big guy.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
So
yes,
those are my favorite scenes.
Guy.
Brayden, what are your favorite scenes?
I think my personal favorite scene is the truck chase. That has my favorite soundtrack piece out of the entire movie. I think it's the most exciting scene out of the whole movie. I love how he climbs underneath the truck, gets dragged, comes back around the truck, and just kicks the guy in the face. It's awesome. And it shows that Indy's a person, and he's not just a superhero. He's a real person who can get hurt, which I think is really well done in that scene. But I also love the plane fight. It's just awesome. I love how it's kind of outrageous, this big, huge guy. I think it's just funny. And I also love the opening, which is just great. I just love all of it. I just think it's great. I think it's just all great. But what I wanted to mention in this review is that this movie is literally everywhere. Like, this movie's everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing something relating to this movie.
Oh yeah,
like in
spoofs.
A spoof or whatever, especially that big boulder and the golden idol. It's just that this movie's it's still relevant today.
Yeah, that boulder scene the opening is just so spoofed so many times, so many places.
Yeah,
Simpsons,
so many times.
Everything. It's
Simpsons. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Simpsons did it. Yeah, this movie is just iconic. It's pretty much the best
so
way
iconic
to describe it.
Yeah, it's one of the best action movies ever made. Like, it's better than action movies we get. It's better than most action movies we get nowadays.
Yeah, I'd say. I really like this one.
It's so exciting too. Like, the movie never stops for a second.
The movie is completely perfect with its use of action. I'd say because a lot of times an action scene in movies is just an action scene for the sake of being an action scene. This is the part where an action scene goes. But every action scene in this movie is story. It services the story, which is the way to do action properly. Is that it's not just randomly placed.
The opening is there to explain his character.
Yeah, establishes the character.
The truck chase.
Yeah, the truck chase is very story.
Moves them along.
Yeah.
As well as the bar fight. The bar fight services the story.
It establishes Marion as a character and the villains as a threat. So that's like a double.
And the villains are pretty scary in this movie, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, they are. I mean,
I love that great gag. Yeah, well, I love that great gag with his hanger for his coat.
That I constantly forget that one. I forget that one every time I see it. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's the coat hanger joke. It's really good.
So funny.
That's probably the best joke in the movie.
Yeah, it is the best joke in the movie. Yeah, so there's so many great jokes in this movie, and it's so especially the hanger gag, as we talked about, is probably the best joke in the movie. I love the one where
that's my favorite.
where he's like it's I love the joke where he's like, you want to talk to God? Let's go see him together. And he stands up and like everyone has a gun in that room.
Everyone in the room just pulls out a gun. That's a pretty good one too. I like that one.
It's so funny, and
it's funny.
And what most modern day action movies don't understand is when to be funny is when to be serious.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the biggest problems with The Last Jedi is the misplaced humor.
Yes.
There's so many scenes that are very serious, and then Hux like gets thrown around or something.
Yeah, but I love the scene.
Glad it knows when to be funny.
I love it though. It's really funny.
I wish they didn't waste his character, but him just getting bullied by everyone. I mean, it's pretty fun.
It's pretty. Anyway,
even if it is misplaced, but yeah, this movie has very well placed humor.
It's very well placed humor. I mean, Ermac burning his hand on the metal thing. And then running outside and falling over. That's just funny.
Yeah, there is funny stuff in this movie.
There's really funny stuff.
Yeah. And there's also some emotional stuff in this movie when Indy thinks that Marion exploded. It's very sad.
It's very sad.
It's the sentence, the way I worded it was kind of funny.
He thinks Marion exploded. Yeah, it's not a funny scene.
He thinks Marion exploded. No, but yeah, it knows when to be emotional, and it's very great. Also, the score, as you talked about in the chase scene, the score is very, very good.
It's a very good score.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows the Indiana Jones just main theme.
Yeah.
But there are also some other great themes.
There's a lot of tracks.
The Marion theme is really good. There's so many tracks. You talked about the chase scene one. There's so much good music.
And it's like
the score is fantastic.
The score is almost like a common thing. It's constant. Like the score is constant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty much always there. There's rarely a scene that doesn't have at least a little background music.
Yeah, like a very like low down music, but it's like always there.
Yeah. It's always there, just framing the scene with the emotion.
And that's the mood setter of this movie. Is when you first see
it's the music.
Indiana. You get these very low tones. It's like, is this the bad guy? And then you're like, no, that's him.
That's the hero. Yeah.
And I love how
you get so many good uses of the theme. Where it's like triumphant, where you see him on the submarine after he swam from.
Yeah, how did he swim from a boat to another boat? That's a long way to swim.
I'm just kind of surprised no one's like saw him flopping around in the water, but he did it.
So did he swim underwater that entire way?
I guess he can hold his breath for a long time.
I mean, he is Indiana Jones, so
he can do whatever he wants.
Honestly. But I love these secondary characters too. Like Marcus Brody is funny.
Oh yes, every character.
Sola is his friend Sola is hilarious. Nasps.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. Yukofest.
Very dangerous. Yukofest. There are good jokes in the movie, yeah. And there's also really good suspenseful scenes. The bad date scene is the best example.
Yeah.
That is extremely good.
Honestly,
very well done.
Yeah, and the animal does die, sadly. The monkey.
Yeah, the monkey dies.
But
sorry, monkey.
It's it helps. Even that helps move the plot along.
Yeah, exactly.
Because because I can't speak today. The monkey was in league with a bad guy. He was like a spy monkey.
Yeah. Spy monkey.
Spy monkey.
Yeah, he was.
He was indeed a spy monkey.
Yeah.
But all around, it's a fantastic movie. Brannock, what is your grade on Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
This movie is fantastic. Pacing's phenomenal. Everything is very well done. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
All right.
Brayden, your score.
Well, as like you said, I love the pacing of this movie. This movie's constant. It never stops for a second. It never lets you catch your breath. Even in the dialogue scenes, it never lets you slow down. I'm going to give Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark an A+. Thank you all so much for watching our video. Please make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and write comments below about movies or Indiana Jones. And I will see you next time. This is Brayden from the Movie Fanatics signing off.